Welcome to Invictus Motors. You're here with us so that we can introduce a Porsche. I was out with a customer yesterday evening who was looking at a Porsche Boxster 981S here. He described a little dream of his whereby he had a poster on the wall of a little kid on a bicycle looking at the back of a Porsche 911, and at the top of the poster it says it all starts with a dream. And we're here today because we will probably start somebody's dream. And Invictus Motors likes to present their car as honestly and as transparently as possible. We'll jump right into it, and that begins with the practicality of a Porsche Boxster S. You get a nice large space here at the front, which will fit in at least two good medium-sized suitcases. If you've got a child that you need to basically take from A to B, you can fit all the goodies that belong to the child in here as well. If you come back to the back of the car, you get a second boot space. Again, there's plenty of space here at the back, and you can get at least probably three good medium-sized suitcases. Now, I would like to show you the inside of the car. The inside is very clean, tidy. There's no scratches, there's no damage to the upholstery. It's presented very neatly, very tidy. From what I can see on the inside of the car, there is no issues, no problems, something of a concern for anybody. In terms of the spec, obviously it's got the upgraded PCM that comes with a Gen 2, which means you can, connect your mobile phone via Bluetooth. It's also got aux connectivity. It's a PDK dual clutch gearbox, which a lot of us prefer. What the PDK tends to offer is basically two clutches. So if you're in the fourth gear and you floor the accelerator down, it's already pre-selected a lower gear. It's a wonderful piece of kit, amazing technology. Additionally, it's a full leather interior, leather seats, leather sides there, leather dash, presented, as I said, very tidy and neat. And I think anyone that decides to buy this Boxster, I think, would be very impressed and very proud of owning it.
So my favourite Porsche wheel of all time is not the turbo wheels like you see on the 991 or even the 997. It's the Sport Design Carrera S wheel. And in my opinion, in silver, it really brings out the stance of any Porsche, let alone a 911 or a Boxster or a Cayman. Now, this car has had two brand new rear tyres and front brake discs and pads all changed by us. All of our cars go through a 111-point independent inspection by a Porsche specialist called AMS Porsche. And there was a few issues raised. As I mentioned before, the rear tyres, the front brakes and pads. Also, the airbag warning light was on. A little bit of wiring had to be repaired. That was done. And the radio wasn't working. That was repaired. And on top of that, the bulbs in these indicators weren't working. It just goes to show how thorough our inspection is of these cars. We also gave the car a major service and a brake fluid change. And in total, this car has had 7 services since it was brand new. And most of them are at Porsche specialist dealers, and I think 3 were at a Porsche main dealer. This goes to show how well this Boxster is maintained. And for the mileage and for the age, it's had more services than it technically requires, which goes to show that whoever did own this car and the previous owners, they all looked after it very well, which you can tell from the condition of the outside bodywork and the interior, which is both immaculate. So in any old Porsche, the first thing that usually happens with them is the headlights get a little bit cloudy. So our in-house detailer, Scott, will professionally refurbish these headlights and polish them to make them look brand new. And this will be done free of charge, and just goes to show how much care and attention we put into the preparation of our cars. So this Porsche Boxster has 6 previous owners. Now, in the Porsche community, that's not necessarily a bad thing. For one, that means this car has had 6 pre-delivery inspections. And it also is marrying up with the fact that it has more services than it actually did require, because anytime someone bought it, they serviced it. And if you look at the condition of this car, you can tell that all 6 previous owners, they looked after it incredibly well. There's no wear and tear on the steering wheel or the door cards or even the seat bolsters, which is the first thing that goes in a car that's especially 11 years old.
Now, something interesting about these cars, when you compare it to some of the other soft tops, is that this cabin space is very intimate, in the sense that, you know, when you're driving this car on a nice summer day on a motorway, or sort of on a road on a dual carriageway, you don't catch as much draft as you would in a 911 convertible. And one of the main reasons is obviously the glass wind deflector, and the fact, what I said earlier, which is that it's a small, intimate space. Therefore, you don't get sort of, you know, a wind circle forming, which, you know, makes your hair go all, you know, frizzy, and, you know, your clothes and, you know, your hat sort of blowing away and that kind of stuff. You know, it is a very intimate cabin space. It is, you know, it's nice, small. I mean, somebody even that is sort of 6'2", 6'3" would, you know, easily be able to get in and out of this car, you know, without any problems. The seats offers a lot of adjustments. You know, the steering wheel handles well. You could still, you know, connect your mobile phone and, you know, play about the PCM in terms of navigation functionality. You've got a fair bit of storage space behind the seats there to keep any of your belongings there, if should you wish to. Behind both the seats, there is, you know, a bit of storage space as well. I mean, you could, you know, chuck a couple of things in there. I mean, if you're a small person, there's space in the glove box, you know, should you wish to, you know, keep your paperwork there. Also cup holders, you know, plenty of space, you know, for two people to put their coffee mugs in here. You know, it's all a very well constructed space inside a Porsche Boxster.